Hello, I'm Steve Maskery, and I've got to that stage in my chair project when I need to make the angled cuts for my side rails. Welcome to Workshop Essentials. The four mortise and tenon joints for the rails of this chair are all different. The front ones are different from the back, and the left ones are different from the right. But they all have something in common, and that is that the blade needs to be tilted to 6.7 degrees. I've tilted my blade to 6.7 degrees and set it in a zero clearance throat plate. And that should give me a very clean cross cut. I don't need a riving knife for this cut, so I don't have to make allowance for that at the back end, which simplifies things. And I've also twisted my fence by 4.8 degrees. And the two of these together are going to give me a compound cut, which is going to be the back end of the left rail. And I've got that level of precision and accuracy by using a sine bar. And if you've not seen my film on sine bars, then I really recommend that you watch that. It's up here, and it's a great way of getting angles set up superbly, very quickly, very easily. So this is 6.7 degrees. It's also set in a zero clearance throat plate. I've got a video on that as well. And it doesn't need a riving knife because this is a cross cut. The cut will be finished long before it gets to the riving knife. So that's set like that for all four cuts. The four different cuts are made differently by altering this. So it's set, this is set at 4.8 degrees to the left for the left rail. It'll be set at 4.8 degrees to the right for the right rail. And this is the back cut. So I've done this one, I've done one or two. And this is what it looks like. Got a leg here. So this is going to be my left leg, and that is going to go in there like that. I've pulled my rip fence as far back as it'll go without falling off, because that way I can use it as a stop. So let's get a fresh one. So this is going to go with the outside face down against the table and the top edge where the seat rests on against the fence. So that's going to go like that. And by having the fence set like this, I can use it as a stop without running the risk of the offcut getting caught between the blade and the fence and getting thrown back at me. So that goes up to there like that, and we just run it through. I have tried filming this without my Suva guard and instead setting up my magnetic standalone guard set in long mode. But unfortunately, this gets in the way of this. And if I lift it up high enough to accommodate this, I may as well not have a guard. You know, you can get your entire arm underneath. So you'll have to make do with that. I know it makes it difficult to see, and I'm sorry about that, but I've set up my camera, my phone camera, just out of shot there, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see what's happening by looking in down here. But I mean, I love you to bits, I really do, but I don't love you enough to do this without the guard on, okay? Right, let's get the guard up here and make the cut. That is beautiful. A nice sharp blade, a zero clearance insert, and that back edge is as clean as the top edge, just about. So I've got 6 of these to do. Well, I haven't, because I've done, is that 4 of them I've done now? Yeah. So I've got another 2 to do, and then I shall tilt this the same angle the other way to do the other 6 for the other side rails. See you in a bit. For the mirror image cut, we set the sine bar in the opposite direction. And since I made the film about sine bars, I've solved the problem of needing 3 hands. This moves about, the spacer moves about. So it's dead easy. We just use some very strong magnets And mind your fingers, because it hurts when you get them caught. And now that isn't going anywhere. So I want it to come this way. I've also stuck magnets into the sign bar itself on both sides. So that this one doesn't do anything when it's on the wood, of course. But we put the spacer in. Set that, nothing's moving. Makes it so much easier. There we go. So now I've twisted my fence to 4.8 degrees to the right for my right-hand rails. And this is still the back end, of course, and it's still got the outside face down. Now, I should have been a bit more careful about how I sorted these into left and right before I started. It's too late now, because some of them have got knots on. But the worst faces I'm going to have on the inside of the chair where you don't see. And in this particular case, although there'll be a little tiny knot there, that will get cut out in the shaping of the leg. So most of them are fine. There's one that's, in fact, one that's so bad I might try and find another piece of oak. I'll see how it turns out when it's finished. But I might have to try and find another piece. I haven't got a lot spare, despite that massive board. And I thought there would be loads spare, and there isn't actually. There isn't. But it does mean that all the components, apart from the legs, come out of one single board. Right, so still tilted the same. This is tilted the same angle in the opposite direction, and I've set my stop again. So let's see what this one looks like. And you can see now, with the fence twisted in the opposite direction, I end up with a perfectly mirror image cut. And now that goes like that on me. So that will get lost, and that's rather nice. This is the setup for the front ends of the rails. And in this case, I'm doing the right rails first. You have to be absolutely crystal clear in your head what it is you're actually doing, because the last thing you want is to cut a right hand joint on the front of a left hand rail. That would really spoil your day. So I've done a test cut, and I have spent over half an hour doing this actually, getting it right in my head, and I couldn't work out why it wasn't coming out right. I had it one way, then I had it the other, then I had it back the first way. And I realised that I was trying to set up for my left rails, and my model, my test piece, was a right rail. So no wonder I couldn't get it to look right. So it was half an hour wasted, but it was half an hour well wasted, because it's now right, and I'm confident that I'm not making the project's biggest mistake. I'm referencing off the existing cut end here. And I'm going to sneeze, so you're going to have to excuse me. Well, I'm glad that's over. I really am. Be careful with these magnets. I had 10 of these this morning when I woke up. I've only got 8. They jump together. They're so strong. They can jump several inches, and the bang when they go, it just breaks them. I've got 2 broken ones out of 10. So handle them with care. Just make sure you don't get your skin pinched, because it's very painful when you do. But the main thing is I have got 6 pairs of rails where all the joinery is correct. Nice mirror images, right and left. And so the next stage is some joinery. Join me next time. Cheerio. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment below. And please remember to like, subscribe and share. It's the only way this work gets seen.